Hello everyone, welcome to Trades Talk Tuesdays. I am your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. You can just call me Pop for short. In case any of you are new and wondering what this is all about, as the name implies, skilled at trades. So there are jobs out there, white collar jobs, blue collar jobs, skilled trades. People work with their hands. They know a specific area that they specialize in, and you start out as an apprentice and you learn from a journeyman, and the knowledge gets passed down as you work and go to school and apply what you've learned in the real world. As for myself, I have been in the skilled trades for a little over 25 years, so I like to think I know what I'm talking about. For now, as I so often do, I'll have a look into what is going on out in industry right now. And to do that, I go and I have a look at Plant Magazine, because that seems to be a good resource, and you can always tell whether the economy is doing well by some of the stories that are in there. So let's clear where is that? Oh, there it is. There we go. So we'll just look through some articles here and see what I can find. First up, what springs to mind, or what's popped right up, is Hong Kong launches bid to attract Canadian companies, but rights group warns of risks. I would be very careful. Hong Kong is not as free as it used to be since the handover back in 1997 to mainland China. So they are probably a lot of CCP interference in the goings-on with any businesses. But let's have a look and see. It says here, Hong Kong's government is betting that Canadian companies and other overseas businesses will put profits over politics as it tries to lure talent and industry back to the city that has been cracking down on dissent after quashing a pro-democracy protest movement. Right off the bat, that's a red flag right there. That is something I wouldn't even touch with a 10-foot pole. I'd be like, nope, I'll go somewhere else. Toronto-based official involved in the pitch that was advertised in Canadian newspapers this week says it's targeting companies that want to just get on with business and remain focused on their balance sheets. Billions of dollars in Hong Kong government funding are available to foreign firms setting up shop there. But activists warn that businesses and individuals alike considering a move to Hong Kong face risks since the passage of a controversial national security law in 2020 and subsequent arrest of government critics. There you go. I mean, don't do it. Just don't fall for it. Who cares how much they're going to give you? If your greed is going to win over, then, well, you're going to go ahead and do it anyway there, aren't you? I'm talking to the CEOs of these companies that they're trying to attract. Eileen Calverley, a co-founder of the human rights group Hong Kong Watch, said Canadian authorities should be highlighting such risks to Canadian companies. For tourists, we get some warning if it's not safe to travel there, so what about for our businesses? Calverley said. It's a free city, not anymore. It was a free city, not anymore. Hong Kong's newly established Office for Attracting Strategic Enterprises is being administered through the government's global network of quasi-diplomatic trade offices in cities including Toronto, Dubai, Beijing, London, New York, Tokyo, and Sydney. On June 5th, the Toronto office placed advertisements saying Hong Kong wants to attract strategic businesses, namely life and health technology, artificial intelligence and data science, financial technology and advanced manufacturing, and new energy technology. Hong Kong is a leading international financial and trade center and regional innovation and technology hub located right in the heart of Asia, the United States. Under one country, two systems, Hong Kong remains a more free and open economy which provides businesses easy access to mainland China and other key Asian markets. That's a lie. There's behind the scenes, the CCP is just cracking down and pulling the strings. So it's not one country, two systems. The push comes after 3 years of population decline in Hong Kong and an outflow of thousands of young Hong Kongers to Canada, Britain, and other countries that have set up dedicated immigration pathways for them in light of political crackdown that followed vast street protests in 2019. Gee, why is everyone leaving if it's so great there? Wow, what's the problem? It must be something not right with the government there. Strange. Christopher Chen, head of business and talent attraction to the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office in Toronto, said the office will help businesses navigate licensing regimes and the city's real estate market while offering tax concessions and other services. Yeah, why would you want to go there anyway? The real estate is just nuts. The costs to even buy something there is just absolutely astronomical. I wouldn't even bother. Don't even bother you. On any of you companies that are thinking about it, don't even. He said its function was purely economic and not political, and questions about the national security law and crackdowns on dissent were out of his purview. Yeah, okay. Otherwise, if he mentions anything about it, I'm sure he'll be disappeared. The national security law is an anti-sedition law, and very few people intentionally move to another country with the intention of engaging in seditious behavior, he said. Canadian companies that we work with, which are like the largest banks, insurance companies, technology companies, that they don't necessarily engage in open political discourse with, say, the mainland Chinese government or Hong Kong government and just get on with business. I think there is a separation. The advertisements tout $5 billion in government co-investment funds for companies moving to Hong Kong, although Chen said this was not specifically devoted to the Strategic Enterprises campaign, instead likening it to a sovereign wealth fund. But activists warn of risks to both businesses and individuals due to the uncertainty and upheaval since the passage of the security law. Hong Kong Watch, which launched its Canadian arm in late May, says Hong Kong economic and trade offices should receive the diplomatic privileges they enjoy under the 1996 Canadian law, since the People's Republic of China already maintains embassies and consulates in Canada. Calverley said Hong Kong's push to attract Canadian companies is due to an exodus of people from the city, and initiatives like the Strategic Enterprises Plan are an attempt to stem the tide of those fleeing potential persecution. She said companies setting up Hong Kong risk not only their money, but the safety of employees. She cited the detention of Canadians, Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, who spent more than 1,000 days in Chinese custody and was widely thought to be a retaliatory move for the 2018 arrest in Canada of the Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou. Severely has urged Canadian policymakers to take a harder line on China since the political situation in Hong Kong spiraled downhill. Global Affairs Canada said it emailed a response that it couldn't speak to the specifics of the Hong Kong initiative, but National Trade Minister Mary Ng has always been clear that we will support businesses wherever they choose to operate internationally. Global Affairs Travel Advice for Hong Kong warns of arbitrary enforcement of local laws and tells travelers that internet traffic is monitored for material appearing to be seditious or that it's critical of mainland China and local authorities. There you go, right there. Why would you do this? The CCP, the Chinese government, controls Hong Kong. There is nothing special about it. Anyways, I'm done with this article. That's enough of that. Don't go to Hong Kong, no matter how much they're going to pay you. Ex-Samsung exec charged with stealing trade secrets to create copycat chip factory in China. Big surprise. There's so much of that going on. I've heard of stories of where they have CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, and there was people from China there, from the businesses, and they were sticking around after hours and looking in things and taking pictures. So you just can't be trusted. GM and Ford embracing Tesla's EV charging technology. Here's what it means for consumers. It means probably easier for you to plug in your car. Today you had to argue with people who think microchips are derived from alien. What? Oh, by the way, welcome DJ Ronnie G. Oh yeah, I'm sorry I didn't greet you earlier, but I did see your message about you'll be right back. Microchips are derived from alien. What? No. Microchips are made from silicon. It's found in the ground. You use an electric charge and, you make the transistor. Photolithography is basically like developing photofilm. Okay. Well, I sure hope you didn't argue too long with these people that think the microchips are derived from aliens. Similar to making microfiche. Okay. I actually know what microfiche is. I've used it before in a library years ago. You wasted 2 paragraphs of effort. Oh, you'll never get that time back again. What else we got here for? White House website highlights infrastructure manufacturing investments as Biden pushes policy wins. I know nothing about this. I leave it up to my American friends to explain to me whether whatever going on there is good or not. I don't know. Cool. It was cool to use those things. You use the special machine, you put the microfiche in there, and you can search around. Oh, unemployment rate ticks higher in May for the first time in 9 months. StatsCan, that's our Statistics Canada section of the government. That was back on the 9th of June, okay. Construction companies say digital technology key to addressing labor shortages. Okay, I thought I went over that last week. Black workers at California Tesla factory allege rampant racism, seek class action status. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Most laws and bills usually do the opposite of their name. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. That's too bad, and we're just sort of helpless to do anything about it. The Inflation Reduction Act increased inflation. Yeah. No, I get it. It's maddening. Yeah, the Affordable Care Act. Oh, you can't even afford to go to the doctor now. Yeah, not much for good news, that's for sure. Well, maybe this one. Let's have a look at this. GM and Ford embracing Tesla's EV charging technology. Here's what it means. So it means that you can take your Ford or whatever and fill it and charge it at a Tesla station. I'm pretty sure. Starting next year, owners of electric vehicles made by GM and Ford will be able to charge their EVs at many Tesla charging stations, the largest such network in the country. Part of their move, both Detroit area automakers have decided to up Tesla's EV charging connector, the plug that links an electric vehicle to a charging station. With GM and Ford joining Tesla's charging system, the rest of the auto industry may be forced to follow suit. If so, it would provide a major victory to Tesla, which would be assured a new and guaranteed revenue stream for years to come. At present, 2 main types of EV charging plugs exist: Tesla's North American Charging Standard and CCS, used by nearly all other automakers. It's not yet clear which other automakers might join Ford and GM. What's going to change? With 17,000 charging plugs, Tesla commands the largest network in the United States. Its stations can charge faster than most others. They're often more reliable, too, and exist in safer locations closer to prime travel corridors. Under the new agreements with GM and Ford, EVs from those companies will be able to starting next year, to charge at 12,000 Tesla supercharger plugs. Tesla is the top seller of EVs in the U.S., with GM number 2 and Ford number 3. Because those 3 companies control so much of the EV market, analysts say that automakers are likely to sign up with a Tesla to avoid being left at a competitive disadvantage. Do I want to have my customers not have access to superchargers, and I'm going to charge them $100,000 per vehicle, says Gary Silberg, global head of automotive for KPMG. Bad if Tesla owners have to wait in line behind GM Volts. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like in the 70s when they had the gas crisis and people were lined up for fuel. Now you're gonna be lined up for your electricity. So maybe not a lot of people remember that. The article goes on. What happens if I own a non-Tesla EV? If it's made by GM or Ford, you'll likely need to buy an adapter so you can hook into Tesla chargers. It's unclear how much those will cost. You can also continue to charge on networks with CCS connectors. If your car is made by some other manufacturer at this point, you won't have access to Tesla's chargers, but there's a growing network of public stations equipped with CCS connectors, up to nearly 54,000 locations, with roughly 139,000 plugs. The Energy Department says still only 7,400 such stations are DC fast chargers, which can provide a significant charge in just minutes. What happens if I buy a non-Tesla EV in the future? In 2025, GM and Ford say will start installing ports in their new EVs that will be compatible with Tesla chargers. To use a CCS charger instead, you would need to have an adapter or find a charging station that can accommodate both technologies. Though other automakers will likely make the switch to Tesla's system as well, for at least a few years, you'd probably need the adapter. My guess is that what we will see by 2027, there will probably be no more new EVs built for North America with CCS ports, said Sam Abulsmid, an analyst at Guidehouse Insights. Who's the big winner here? GM and Ford didn't release a lot of detail about the financial arrangements, but it's clear that Tesla will enjoy a boost in revenue as more Ford and GM vehicles charge up. GM said it isn't spending anything on the deal. Its customers will pay Tesla to charge. GM and Ford EV owners will also win because they will gain access to double the number of chargers that they had before. Who loses? Other automakers go with Tesla. Companies that will be developing their own charging networks, such as ChargePoint, EVgo, or Electrify America, would feel squeezed. They would have to make sure their fast chargers can work with the Tesla plug or become more competitive by, for example, adding stations in better locations and making them more reliable. Up to this point, they basically didn't have to compete with Tesla for owners of CCS vehicles. Abdulazmid noted, because Tesla's network is open to more vehicles. Stolberg said the other companies might struggle to attract investors, yet as they adapt, consumers should gain more charging options. We'll light a fire under those companies, he said. What do other automakers say about joining Tesla? It varies. Kia and Nissan declined to comment. Hyundai and Stellantis said they are working on a response. A message was left for Toyota. Volkswagen says it's committed to the CCS standard, Electrify America, which was established with money from a Volkswagen emissions cheating settlement, plans to double its number of chargers by 2026. It now has 840 stations and about 4,000 plugs. Okay. Not everyone's going to hop on the Tesla bandwagon, it seems. And that's it for the news, I think, this time around. There's a couple of articles I'd like to show now. This is from Forbes Advisor. What is a skilled trade? Top paying trades to consider. Choosing a career path can be daunting, especially when you factor in the cost of education, but you don't always need to invest several years and thousands of dollars in a degree to secure a stable job. Skilled trades can make for stable, lucrative careers and often do not require a college degree. You hear that out there, everybody? This is the way to go. No student debt. You don't need a degree. You don't have to waste 4 years in college or however long it takes. Skilled trades takes a practical approach to education and training, shortening the time needed to learn a subject and allowing you to start earning a wage right away. Read on to learn about education requirements and the job outlooks for some of the highest paid skilled trades on the job market. Skilled trade is a job that requires a specialized skill set learned through either an apprenticeship or on-the-job training. Technical schools, often called vocational or trade schools, equip students to pursue skilled trades. When many people think of skilled trades, they think of jobs requiring manual labor. Though some skilled trades fit the description, not all of them do. Skilled trades can be broken down into 3 categories. Skilled industrial trades, such as welders and machinists. Skilled construction trades, such as plumbers and carpenters. And skilled service trades, such as nurses and hairstylists. Skilled trades take a practical approach to education. Through hands-on learning and training, not all skilled trades require a 4-year degree, making high-paying careers attainable to aspiring professionals who don't attend college. The benefits of skilled trade jobs. Skilled trades offer ample opportunities for career growth and high earning potential. Demand for skilled trade workers is steady. with the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projecting a 4% employment growth for construction and extraction occupations from 2021 to 2031. This growth is about on par with the average projected growth for all U.S. jobs. As technology develops in areas like solar and electric vehicles and other specialized sectors, opportunities to work on these cutting-edge technologies can be profitable and exciting. Another benefit of pursuing a skilled trade is saving on education costs. Bachelor's degrees can be expensive. The National Center for Education Statistics reported that tuition and fees at public four-year schools averaged about $9,400 in 2020 to 2021 academic year, totaling $37,600 for a full degree. Vocational schools typically cost just as little as $5,000 per year, and degrees often take less than 2 years to complete. So there you go, right off the bat. It costs less to get an education, and you can do it in a shorter amount of time. The education requirements for skilled trades vary depending on the career path. Some employers require professional certificates or apprenticeships. Most ask for a high school diploma or GED certificate. In some cases, taking the SAT or ACT can help you and stand out against the competition. Below, we explore common educational paths for skilled trades. Just so you know, we don't have SATs in Canada or ACTs. It's just once you're done high school and you graduate with good enough grades, you can go on to trade school. Just sign up, pay your money, usually a little bit of an entrance exam, just so they can see where you're at, and that's it. And it's not that expensive. When I went to trade school back in the early 90s, I paid $110 a month just to be enrolled in the school. Books were extra, obviously, but that was just the straight tuition. And it took me about 18 months. Trade schools. What are trade schools? Trade schools are a great alternative to the typical 4-year college experience. Trade programs can take up to 2 years to complete, giving students hands-on experience with the skilled trade. Most trade school programs give certificates upon completion. Attending trade school can help you determine your career path. Trade and vocational schools often offer a variety of subject areas, but some specialize in specific trades. You can apply to top online trade schools or attend an in-person or hybrid program. What is an apprenticeship? Not all the trades require a vocational degree. Many employers provide training programs where you work closely with seasoned professionals, gaining hands-on experience while earning an income. This type of training is known as an apprenticeship. Apprenticeships can be formal and sponsored through unions and agencies or employers. Typical apprenticeships last anywhere from 1 to 4 years, depending on the trade and program. Most apprenticeship programs are registered through the U.S. Department of Labor. After completing an apprenticeship program, you may earn a certificate of completion to verify your competency in the trade. There are a variety of ways to get an apprenticeship. Highest paying skilled trade jobs. Okay, now this is in America because it's Forbes. The following jobs represent some of the most lucrative skilled trade careers. All salary data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can always check up yourself. First one, Boilermakers. Median annual salary of $64,000. Projected job growth? It looks like it's going to be down, minus 5% between 2021 and 2031. Boilermakers assemble and maintain boilers and other large vessels that hold gases and liquids. Boilermakers work in physically demanding environments and may travel to work sites for long periods. A high school diploma or the equivalent was required to become a Boilermaker. Boilermakers typically learn their trade through apprenticeships. Electricians. Median annual salary $64,000. Projected job growth plus 7%, 2021 to 2031. So there's going to be a demand. I think that's what that means. Electricians install and maintain electrical power systems in homes and businesses. Electricians inspect transformers and use testing devices to diagnose electrical problems. To become an electrician, you must have a high school diploma or equivalent. Training to become an electrician involves either an apprenticeship or technical school, depending on the state. An electrician may need a license to work. This one blows me away. Elevator and escalator installers and repairers. $97,000. Woof! Elevator and escalator installers repair and maintain elevators and other moving walkways and lifts. Elevator repairers are competent in assembling elevator cars and interpreting blueprints to evaluate the layout and components needed for installation. Most elevator cars or most elevator repairers work on call to make emergency repairs. High school diploma or equivalent is required to become an elevator repairer. These professionals typically complete apprenticeships to learn their trade. Industrial machinery mechanics, $59,000 a year. Industrial machinery mechanics maintain and repair factory equipment like conveying systems and production machinery. They interpret manuals and disassemble machinery to diagnose problems. Machinery mechanics typically work full-time and may be asked to work on call or weekends. Industrial machinery mechanics need a high school diploma. Once hired, they need at least a year of training, and some employers ask for a 2-year associate degree in industrial maintenance. Really? Oh, mill rates. This is what I do. This is my trade. Median annual salary is $60,000. Millwrights work on dismantling and or reassembling machinery to move it into factories or power plants. They also calibrate and adjust equipment to ensure machinery meets specifications. Millwrights need a high school diploma and typically complete 4-year apprenticeships. Yes, that's exactly right. And we also install and repair industrial equipment. We do repairs as well. I didn't really mention that. Plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters, $59,000 a year. Plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters repair fixtures and systems that carry fluids or gases. They read blueprints, determine the materials they need for the job, and estimate customer costs. Aside from installation, pipe fitters, plumbers, and steam fitters run tests to ensure pipes are air and water tight. A high school diploma is required, and technical school and apprenticeships are also options. Well, there you go. That described pretty well. Although you don't have to go for the top paying one. You should do the one that you enjoy the most, whatever trade it may be. As long as you're happy at your job, that's the most important thing. Why? You could be making lots of money and just be miserable and not want to be there. And just why would you want to be miserable all the time? Do a job that you like. Don't just go for the money. This one, working to attract, retain apprentices is a skilled job in and of itself. And this was put out on the 8th. Skilled construction tradespeople should be earning more than some PhDs, says Monty McNaughton, Ontario's Minister of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. I always say I need more people in the skilled trades earning more money than the PhDs, says McNaughton, speaking about how to get students streaming into apprenticeships and away from universities. The need for more apprentices going into the skilled trades has been obvious for some time, he says, but we're making headway, though there are still more challenges ahead. Less than 1/5 of people who embark upon an apprenticeship program in Canada complete their training within the designated time period, according to a 2021 Statistics Canada study. What does hold apprentices' interest, however, is money, with higher paying apprentices more likely to complete their program within a given period of time than those in lower paying positions, according to one Statistics Canada study. Still, how long it takes to complete a program isn't that important, says Sihan Billingsley, professor emeritus at the University of Utah, who has studied the sector and is poised to issue an annual summary of apprenticeship programs in the United States. Completion may be delayed for a variety of reasons, and say a 1-year delay should not be viewed as failure, he says, noting completion rates are lower in lower-paying trades. Key factor in apprenticeships is how they are inducted into training, Billingsley says, with union programs holding the edge over non-union contractors. Well, hello, Whoopa Troopa. Nice to see you. Hope you had a good stream. Sorry I couldn't make it there. I was really pressed for time, so I'll stick around next time, or I'll try to catch you next time. They have training facilities and the mandate to apply uniformly trained workers, he adds. It's not 100% foolproof, but it allows unions to generate a more homogeneous body of workers. The Associated Builders and Contractors in the U.S. says 2022 data shows the percentage of construction industry wage and salary workers belonging to unions dropped to a record low of 11.7%, down from 12% the year before. Your internet crashed, sadly. Didn't miss much. Oh man, that sucks. I hope mine sticks around. It's pretty stormy and windy. I'm just looking out the window here, and we had a thunderstorm this morning, and now it's really windy, and the rain was falling, and I hope things hold up for me. Continuing on. In Canada, the percentage of union members to trades holds at between 35 to 45%, depending on the province and the trade. In 2022, in Ontario, the 2016 census found 26% of Ontario's total construction industry, residential and non-residential workforce, that's 465,000, worked in the unionized sector in 2015. However, that figure includes many smaller home renovation contractors blended with ICI contractors, where generally unionization is only about 80% or more. It's in the ICI trades where unions hold the strong hand in apprenticeship numbers, and that's led to some friction with non-union contractors who don't have the formal training programs and facilities the unions have. Some non-union contractors complain unions play gatekeeper to ensure supply of skilled tradespeople doesn't exceed demand and force down wages. One of the changes brought in by the Doug Ford government in Ontario in January changed the ratio of apprentices to journeymen, which made it easier to hire apprentices. In concert with $1.5 billion over 4 years invested in programs like Better Jobs Ontario, the Ontario Youth Assistance Program, which provides support for potential apprentices and employers to hire them, there are tangible results, McNaughton says. Others have stepped up, such as Schulich Foundation, which has created a $3 million scholarship for students looking at skilled trades at 10 Ontario colleges. I'm confident momentum is building around skilled trades, and we're making a huge difference, he says. New apprenticeship registrations for women is up 30% since last spring, and overall there's been an increase of 25% in apprenticeship registration. So we're moving the big needle, but we still need 100,000 more skilled construction workers over the next decade. While the intake numbers are encouraging, Adel Essayed, Dean of the Center for Construction and Engineering Technologies at George Brown College in Toronto, says the schools also need to modernize to serve those apprentices. We need to start intensively introducing new technology into trade schools, he says, noting the generation coming into apprenticeships are technically literate and ready to embrace digital tools as much as physical tools. The pandemic showed us that tradespeople are as smart or smarter than post-secondary students in adapting to technology. I have a problem with that. That's fine. You're technically savvy. You know all the stuff, but you better know which end of the wrench to hold on to and how to properly swing a hammer and use a hammer and a punch without hitting your fingers. That is more important than typing on a computer. Any kind of that stuff. They're talking about being technically literate. You need the hand skills. You need to be able to build things and get things taken apart by hand. Computer's not going to do it for you, and you have to do it without. Some stuff is very delicate out there when you're taking it apart. You have to be very careful. So don't be a sledgehammer mechanic. Try to be the guy that does the fine, finicky work. Have a light touch, and you won't give yourself more work to do, like having to repair things that are broken, that you have broken, taking apart. If only Wupstotska had the budget to run some undersea fiber optic lines. I think most of Wupstotska budget goes to waifu research, which is most important. Let's see, what do we got? Efforts over the years and higher wages out of the gate for skilled trades have kindled interest among high schoolers, and McNaughton notes students in grade 1 will get exposure to trades as a career path. Really? Is that a typo? It says students in grade 1. That's crazy. There's a lingering stigma among some segments of the population until fairly recently guidance counselors were still favoring university. Canadian citizens not so much, but new immigrants don't like their kids going to trades. He says they think it's for people who have no other options. Kids want to, and I have to explain to their parents it's not like it was in their country because Here it's a good option and you can make a very good living. Mike Gallardo, a board member of Skilled Trades Ontario, but speaking in his role as president and CEO of Merit Ontario, the non-union contractors association, says it's something he hears from his members all the time, how paperwork can be a drawback. Some people do think we should look at apprenticeship programs and look to see whether skills learned in other trades can be transferred to another trade. For some, there is a crossover. Like, in my trade, I could do piping and such, like a plumber, or I could specialize as a hydraulic technician or work on air compressors. So there is some crossover. The biggest challenge is when you talk to prospective apprentices, young or old, they look at the pathway, it's cumbersome, and you have to complete a lot of paperwork, which is an administrative burden, and it turns out an awful lot of people from pursuing it because they look at it and it's not as easy as it looks. I think they're making it more difficult than it actually is. You keep saying there's so much paperwork. There is not a lot of paperwork. It's just go to school, learn, find a place to indenture you as an apprentice, then go back, do your 4 years or whatever it is. It's not that hard. Once again, when government interferes, things start to get more convoluted. Melissa Young, CEO and registrar at Skilled Trades Ontario, agrees it's an area that needs work. We're moving to a digital platform where we can log hours and keep a digital logbook, she says. Adding future plans will be to remove silos in the apprenticeship process and reach out much more over the year to raise interest. Remove silos. Remove silos. That sentence doesn't make any sense. Adding future plans will be to remove silos in the apprenticeship process and reach out much more over the year to raise interest. Okay, she probably meant another word, but that's too much. That's isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, on the other hand, some companies don't want to be burdened. A 2020 survey by Workforce Planning Board for Sudbury, Manitoulin found that while employers looking for a diverse range of skilled construction workers, there's a split between those who were eager to support apprentices and others who wanted no part. Some would pay their wages while they went to school as part of their apprenticeship and provide other supports, while the other group didn't see it as their responsibility to get involved. Well, then you will fail. If you don't see it as your responsibility to get involved, your business is going to fail. The other businesses that went to get apprentices, they have a future because the apprentice will be grateful that the business has taken them under their wing and is providing them a chance to learn their trade, and they will probably stick around. So there you go. If loyalty means anything in this world anymore, I would hope that there would be some loyalty by an apprentice, that a company was, helping them become a journeyman, and they would stick around. There's too much paperwork in filing taxes, so I'll just stop doing that from now on. Yes, I'm sure the IRS will be fine with that, right, Woopa? Very short-sighted by those guys. Yes, it is. They are very short-sighted. Now, before we move along to the next article I have, I wonder if we should take a little break. This is for anyone that doesn't know. What's a safety save?
Oh, hey there everybody. How are you? Well, I don't always play video games, but when I do, I make sure to safely make a safety save in a safe environment. And if you don't know how to make a safety save, well then make sure you check out Pop Culture Mechanics, 9 a.m. Mountain Time and 10 a.m. Central on Saturday mornings, where you can learn how to make a safety save that you might be so excited you could dance if you wanna. So, come on and check out Pop Culture Mechanics on Saturday mornings. Going to see you there. Bye.
Finally! Yes! Whew! My God!
Little shameless plug there for my game stream. There's no law which says you need to file income tax. Guy in federal prison. Yeah. That's how they took down Al Capone. Can't tell the difference. All Canadians look alike. Oh. We might all look alike, but we don't sound alike. You can tell a Westerner from somebody from Newfoundland. Last article here. This is actually some good news. Amid shortage of skilled trade workers, Ontario sees a jump in apprentices. The increased interest comes amid a big push by the provincial government to boost the number of apprentices. This is from today, actually. Tuesday, June 13th. By the way, what he's doing there, you see this picture? That's stupid. You're welding. You're getting ultraviolet rays are zapping your face. You should always wear a full face shield, not just glasses. That's how dumb is that? You know, he's got the hands on there. She's got her hands on there. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, that's how you get, what do you call it? Sunburned. You're gonna get sunburned because this thing puts out lots of ultraviolet rays, and different rays too, but ultraviolet will burn you. Okay, well, Newfies definitely sound different. Yeah, they do. You can't talk like this, bye. You gotta be out there at the rock and get you some screech. You can drink that and kiss the cod. That's how those Newfies sound like. He is in solidarity with people of all walks. Yeah. Apprenticeship registrations are on the rise in Ontario with a jump of more than 5,300 year over year. He's a good politician. Yeah, I don't live in Ontario. I don't hear good stuff about him, so. The increased interest comes amid a big push by the provincial government to boost the number of apprentices by restarting career fairs, showcasing the trades in school curriculum, as well as making it easier for high school students to transition to careers in areas like carpentry or auto mechanics. It's a banner year for apprenticeship registrations, a 24% increase overall. We're at about 92,000 active apprentices across the province today. Monty McNaughton, a Minister for Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development, said in an interview. One of the big reasons is because we're ending the stigma around skilled trades. We've sent a message for the last few years that careers in the trades are rewarding, they're lucrative, and they're well-paying, and often they come with pensions and benefits. So it's all of the work that the government is doing, working with private sector union partners and industry, that's really making a big difference on the ground. In the 2022-2023 fiscal year, there were some 27,000 new apprenticeship registrations, up from 21,000 the previous year. While the number of women remains low, some 3,500 registered in 2022-2023 compared to the 2,700 in 2021-2022. As a girl dad myself, that's one of the things I'm most proud of, that there's a 30% increase in female apprenticeship registration, added McNaughton. The top 3 trades overall in 2023 were electrician, automotive service technician, and plumber. Education Minister Stephen Lecce recently announced that all high school students will need at least 1 tech credit to graduate from high school. The province has a massive shortage of workers, especially in the apprenticeship sector, where it is estimated that by 2026, which is only 3 years away, 1 in 5 jobs will be skilled trades. Some 72,000 workers will be needed in the next 4 years in construction alone. There you go. You got to do it. You have to mandate it from the government level to the school boards. You have to be like, this is what you're going to do. And you need to get these guys into the skilled trades. They have to know that there's a future for them and that they are going to be needed. You knew one Newfie, he mostly sounded the same, a normal hockey guy, but every once in a while he let the accent slide. You could tell because he would never say my, just me. Okay. If someone ever says, as a girl dad, I usually disregard whatever comes next. Yes. Yeah, what a stupid thing to say, eh? All right, well, that's it for the articles. What I'll do now is, it's picture time. It's picture time. Yeah, we'll get some pictures going here. Let me see. You can shrink down. Up. That's good. And display capture. Boom, I got display capture. There we go. So I got out my car and walked into my house, and my wife started nagging me. I got out of my car. I walked into my house, and my wife started nagging me. Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? So what we're looking at here is a brand new form for a compressor. This is going to be the base. This is a lot of rebar. Like, look at that. That is big diameter rebar. It's got to be at least 3/4 of an inch in diameter. And it's just everywhere. This thing is going to be a monster when it's done. As you can see. They even put in the locators for the bolts to hold the base down of the compressor. So all that there, and there's another shot of it. It's going to be quite large. This is going to be one big block of concrete, which is what you need for a machine that has so much vibration and so much power behind it. Like, it's going to be a lot of shaking, because that's how it runs. Another shot there, and they did a lot of bracing. So you got bracing going across, got bracing along here, going into the ground. They brace those forms up so that it has no chance to move. As you can see there, they even drilled into the ground and attached these, what do you call them? Turnbuckles, so that you can adjust how much pressure you have on the slide walls. And when the big day came, they called out a pumper truck, and he sets up with his large outriggers and the long arm just to hold this hose, well, the piping that leads to a flexible hose. And I was just up on the roof, so I was taking some pictures. And there we go. I was going to watch them pour the concrete from up here. Nice, safe, out-of-the-way spot. And there they are there. We've got this fella who has a remote control on his hip that's controlling the arm of the pumper truck. And you got these rest of these guys that are, two guys are pumping the concrete in, and they're starting to smooth it out. The concrete finishers. That's why it looks nice and smooth over there. Me Lucky Charms. Hey, Louise, after me Lucky Charms. And so there they go. They're filling it up. And once they were done, I got a close-up look at it. Look at how smooth that is. That's a beauty piece of work right there. And so now that has to cure, ideally for 21 days. You want it to cure. Picture reminds you of the guys who got stuck in the Hoover Dam. Oh no! Reminds you of where Jimmy Hoffa is there, DJ Ronnie G? That's a better look at it there. The sun's shining on it. Nice, smooth. Yeah, that's what you want. That is a large block of concrete for a support base. And there they go. They came by after. This has been well, let's have a look here. Got dated here. April the 28th and May the 5th or sorry, May the 1st. So they waited a couple days. I don't know. Maybe those guys might do it. They might reuse the plywood if it's not destroyed. Got to get their mileage out of it. Wood's expensive now, so they probably did reuse it. But that's a nice looking. They put some plastic on the top to sort of keep it from drying out. You don't want it to dry super quickly. You want it to take its time. So yeah, there's the new base for an air compressor to get put on top of. And this is going to be one big compressor. Like, I will have pictures for you guys when it gets installed, so you'll be able to see. But I'm looking forward to seeing this thing sitting on the base. There's a lot of the. I went around, took pictures of the old concrete base that they chipped out of there. They chipped that all out and put it into the scrap. Oh, and here we go. I took video. There's the arm. And these guys are so the one guy there, he's controlling the hose. Another guy, he's got a, what they do is they vibrate the concrete to take all the air bubbles out of it. So he's got one and he'll put it in there and he'll vibrate it to remove all the air pockets. Because that's what'll weaken your concrete. You want no air bubble, no air pockets in there. You can see just a steady pour. I believe I got one more. Yeah, there we go. So you can see they're pouring it in there, and another guy's going along. He's smoothing it out right away. And there you go. So, when there is an update of the compressor install, I will take the pictures and be the one to bring it right to you guys to have a look. Hope you're as excited as I am, because I want to see that thing put in place. Let's see here. Going back. I might have a few more. Few more pictures of things that I've seen out there. And one of them was when we pulled a barge out of our lake. Yeah, MSI. It's my gaming laptop. I use my gaming laptop for all my streaming stuff. It does a good job. I really like the way it works. Just bear with me here. I just gotta find it a bit. It's easy to, lose track of things, of where everything is. Yeah, I have two monitors set up there, DJ Ronnie G. So I went and got one. It's an MSI monitor as well. And it has built-in speakers. I went and got it from Staples because that was the best deal I found. And yeah, I would never go back. This dual monitor setup is great for what I have to do. You're a huge MSI fan. Yeah, there you go. No, they do all right. I'm quite happy with it. Let's see. Okay, here you go. You guys see that okay? You have an MSI as well. You've got some pros and cons, but overall, I won't complain. Yeah, I guess it depends on which one you have. I wanted to get like the most. Can't say the same about your internet. Yeah. That is correct. That is a mobile crane. It is a 400-ton crane. Not because it has to lift up 400 tons, but because it's going to pick this thing up. This is a barge. This is a barge in a pond, a settling pond. And they're getting set up right now. So you need a truck to bring in the weights to go on the back, the counterweights to go on the back of the crane. And there's the base, and that one says 10 tons. So that piece there weighs 10 tons. What settles in the pond? Human waste, to put it nicely. So, where I worked before, we took all of the city's human waste and turned it into compost. So, this is why you need a 400-ton crane, because you need the reach. You got to reach over a berm and to grab onto this guy here. That's the barge. And so he sets up on the road down there, and he's got all his counterweights on. But dang, it's a dang good machine, runs stuff well, almost never have problems with it. Yeah, I find that too with my MSI. Mine's, what is it? Mine's the GS75. A little older, but I like it because it's a 17-inch. And it does good. It's got a, what is it? What's that? It's got the NVIDIA 2060 in it. So I'm okay with that. It does just fine. Human waste, they put liberals in there. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens here. So the first thing we do is you lift out the aerators. These things are what keeps the pond from freezing over in the wintertime. They're just big motors with propellers on the end of them. And they just get tied down with ropes in the middle of the pond, and they just run all winter. You have no idea what your graphics card is, honestly? Oh, you could probably find out pretty easy. Yeah. Oh, damn, 2060 laptop. Yeah, it's like I say, I just wanted to get something that's going to do a good job for me, and it does, rendering videos and all that. I think it does okay. And there we go, reaching across there. They've got the connection points they got to hook onto. They're using, looks like they're using endless slings. And those will be strong enough, definitely strong enough to lift that up. This thing weighs about 40,000 pounds. So there you go. Lifted it up. Up and over. You'd be curious about what CPU, and you can see the GPU name as well in Task Manager. Oh yeah, Task Manager, yeah, that'll do. Most games you stream are over 10 years old. It's not a huge deal. Yeah. Hey, retro gamers, me and you, buddy. That's what I do. The most modern game I've played is probably Lord of the Rings Online, where I want to push the graphics to the max. Yeah, like Ronnie's saying there, you can access Task Manager by right-clicking with the clock and select Task Manager. The bar too, like just on the bar. Or there, where is it? Not Taskbar settings. Task Manager. There you go. And it looks like this. And you can see what your performance is. And usually I look at my Ethernet and see what how fast it is, how fast I'm sending, how fast I'm receiving. But yeah. Most recent game you've played is 2019 and it held up well. Good. That's what you want. You got all the jokes today. Turn the city lake into a shitty lake. Yeah. Look at you, Whoopa. You may have click more details at the bottom of the app window before you can review the performance tab. Oh, okay. So yeah, we finally got that thing out, the barge out, because we got a new one. So they wanted to get rid of the old one because it is rotting. As you can see, there is lots of rust. This thing was just rotting. So it's about time to get rid of it. And after they clean it, so yeah, the guy's got the pressure washer there. They want to clean it off because you can't take all the human waste with you on the road. Those are pontoons. Yeah, those are pontoons, all right. That's how she floated in there. And then they put it on a truck. Lowboy. And there they are loading it up. I made sure to get lots of pictures. It was pretty awesome watching this. And look at that counterweight back there. Like, look how huge that is. It's just amazing. And these are just pictures of the new Shiv. There's the new barge out there. You got 1 terabyte storage and 256 gigabyte solid state. Nice. You don't want to be the guy that cleans those pontoons. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's hold on. So this is what wintertime looks like where I live. So as you can see, ice and snow. And there's the aerators I was telling you about. Those things that they just spin. That one's running. They spin the propeller under the water to create the motion that keeps the ice from forming. And those ones, they're supposed to be, that's one there, but it flipped over. So there was something happened, a buildup of ice on one of the ropes, and it flipped this thing over upside down. And that was it. And that's why there's a lot of ice around the barge right now. So what they're going to have to do, what they did, grab the ropes and move those over so that they can stir up the water and ice around the barge, and that'll free it up. And I believe here's the video of them getting started. It's pretty slow moving because it's such a powerful crane. Yeah, so they're just getting set up. They're going to pull the hook off the front there because it's attached so it doesn't swing all over the place. And once that's done, this guy will move it up and out of the way and then spin around and set up his counterweights. Okay, on to the next one. There we go. So now, this is how you do it. You pick up the counterweights. And I believe you moved them over to that pad over there. We saw that said 10 tons on it. I think that's what they're doing. It's been a while, so I can't remember quite what the procedure was for this. I'll have to how much we got here? Oh, we got another minute to go here of recording, so okay, did they just want to straighten it up so it's they're trying to get it they're trying to balance it up. Okay, one at a time. Okay, and moving on to the next one. There, he's lifting out the aerators. And that's what it looks like. Not much to it. Big motor, propeller, and the rest of it is just the float that keeps it buoyant in the water. And it was a good day for it too. A nice sunny day, not a lot of wind. The more wind you have, the less they're going to use the crane because there's a risk of it getting toppled. Because wind is very powerful. If you look at a lot of crane accidents, it's because they tried to do their lifts in high winds. So what he'll do is he'll go up and around, and then he'll drop it in a landing zone, and then from there it will get taken away by a front end loader, because that's how you move those around. A front end loader that has forks, it'll pick them up and it'll shuttle it over to where it's going to be dismantled. The more wind you have, the worse it smells there. Well, for people that are downwind, yeah. You wouldn't believe how many times you get complaints. People would call the city. Oh, it stinks. Yeah, you live next to a dump. What do you want? There we go. So he's swinging it over right now, and he'll land it on the road down there. And there's some fellas waiting, and they will provide some dunnage to rest it on. And here it comes. So those guys have some plastic floats down there that they will use to hold that up off the ground. And there we go. Just like nice and smooth. You work next to a dump. You have to remember to turn off your AC at certain points in the drive. You don't want to odor in my car. Oh, man. Yeah. It's even worse when you pull it into your own car, isn't it? He's got his signal man there telling him, yep, you're good, let her down. And as soon as the slack comes onto the slings, they should disconnect. There you go. You guys will disconnect the shackles and put them back on. And then they're ready for the next one. And it's shaking a lot because I'm zoomed in a lot. I'm at like maximum zoom for my camera. Easy to get in the car, hard to get out. Oh yeah. Grab yourself a little one of those evergreen tree air fresheners. Stick it in there. There we go. He's coming back for another one. Here we go. I wasn't the only one taking pictures that day. That fellow there, he's taking pictures too. We really wanted to see this thing get lifted out of here. So here you have a 400-ton crane lifting a 40,000-pound barge. And that, just the reach is just unbelievable how far it goes out. Here he goes, lifting it up. Yeah, look at how rusty that is. That thing's at the end of its life. It doesn't need to stick around anymore. It just needs to get turned into scrap metal, and that's the end of that. I'm glad we didn't have to work on that anymore. What a pain. But yeah, it's a very slow process. You have to go slow when you are at like such a long reach and a heavy load like that. A good crane operator, he'll go very slow. Any of these guys that are like showing off in their crane and trying to showboat and be like, oh, look how fast I can get this out of here. It's like, no. It's better to do it safely. Don't, you're taking people's lives in your hands. Just go nice and easy. And then you can do the job well and go home safe. Everyone goes home safe, and that's the most important thing. They might have had some problems. I'm not sure. Might have needed something disconnected. And I think we'll go to the next one. I got it up a little higher, but something's not right still. I got a little closer. And there we go. They've got a tagline on it. That's a guy that has a little rope tied onto it so he can try to control where it swings. Always do safety save before operating the crane. That's right. So he should. Yeah, that guy's pulling on the rope. He's got to try to twist it a bit so it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Now go up. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Release nice and slow. There we go. He's getting it up and out. You just got to swing it over and let the guy wash it off, because it is covered in poo. Human poo. So I'm just going to walk along here. I know it's a little shaky, but I didn't have a steady cam. And there you go. He's going to hold it there and land it. Yeah, that guy's got to maintain the tension on the rope there, keep it from spinning. There. I'll get it down there. Yeah. And there you go. That is a successful crane lift. So, no accidents this time around. And that is that, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. That was some of the cooler things I've been a part of, as far as being on the job there. And it's always neat when those things come across your plate, because then you can just like, oh, look at this. Look what I get to watch. Heavy lifts are always fun. Anyway, I think that was a good stream tonight. I'm always glad to see you guys popping by. Like DJ Ronnie G. It's always good to see you. And Whoopa Troopa. It's always a pleasure to have you stop in, Comrade Leader. And anyone else that was lurking either on the Kick side or on Rumble, or, just the regular YouTube suspects. You know who you are. You're all good people. So please, slap that like button. It helps me out. You can tell your friends about me, spread the word. If they're interested in the skilled trades on Tuesday, they can stop by too. We can all sit around, have a conversation about them. There's other channels out there too, like Mike, who is at Pacific 414. There's Blaine at Blaine's Escape Corner, who is, I believe, broadcasting right now. He should be streaming too, his escape stream. Who else? Yeah, there's Ronan66. There's DJ Ronnie G in the chat, and he has his own channel. Brandon the Anime Guy, who I was watching before I started my stream. The Nerdtorial Lifeform. There's Angry Canadian. And Whoopa, who is in the chat. He has his own channel where he does some gaming as well. And there's always Punkwaddle at Floral from Under a Rock, and he has his own YouTube channel as well. I have a Discord. It's called The Shop, because that's where all the tradesmen hang out. We hang out at the shop. So if you ever want to chat with me, stop on by the Discord. I'm out there on Twitter. I try to not engage with too many people on Twitter, because it wouldn't go well. And I've got videos on Odyssey and Rumble. And streaming on Kick as well, because Twitch has decided to burn itself down, so looks like I'll be on Kick. Coming up Saturday, game stream. I am playing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Let's try that again. Superstar Saga. And it is damn fun. I'm having a good time. You should stop on by and have a watch. I will also have a brand new game opening title sequence. So I sat down the other day and decided to make up a new game title sequence. Yes. Yeah, woo, game streams. That's what we're here for, eh? And then on Sunday is Sunday Anime Chat. I'm going to continue on with the theme of this month, which is racing. All sorts of racing anime. The next one coming up is, I got it here. I got it. I know what it is. Wangan Midnight. This was recommended to me by Blaine, and I do take his recommendations. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to anime, so I am gonna watch that, and I'm gonna tell you all about it, and we'll watch the first episode together. And then we circle around to the next week. Trades Talk Tuesday once again. Join me, learn about the skilled trades, and see some pictures and videos of some of the projects that I've been a part of. I'll tell you, some of them were pretty neat to be a part of. So yeah, that's it for me tonight, everybody. Once again, I was very grateful for you to stop by. Much appreciated. And I hope to see you out there on the other streams. And until next time, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.